I am a mocha mom, and I am back to talk about those days when you feel like, why did I choose to do this? Because my child is coming to me and saying that they hate the curriculum. It's taking them forever to achieve a task that I've given them. They don't seem to be learning what they need to learn. Will they ever read? Came so highly recommended. The curriculum looks so good on paper. When I first looked at it, I imagined that it would work out this way, but I didn't anticipate what it would feel like until I walked it out. I think there's a lot of self-criticism and a lot of expectation when you assume the responsibility of educating your own child anyway. And so when you pick a curriculum and it's highly recommended, you want to do everything you can to make it work. But a couple of things are deal breakers for me. If it's something that's stretching me beyond what I'm able to do, for example, I'm a very crafty person, so in the beginning I imagine, of course, this means that I will love hands-on curriculums where I'm doing things with my kids. But I found that it was very difficult to always have all the supplies ready when they needed to be ready. Or if there was something I was picking out at the library, to find it at the right library, to have it at the time where it's supposed to work out in the curriculum. Sometimes I found that more stressful than just doing the traditional, book workbook approach. And another thing I noticed about myself is that while I like making crafts and putting things together, it was hard for me to just allow my child to cut the circle in the shape of a square instead of in the shape of a circle and let her put it crooked on the page. I look at other people's crafts and I think that's cute, but when it's in the hands of my child, I think, oh my gosh, they can't cut a circle. Are they going to make it to college? We can be irrational as parents. If the curriculum is too difficult and I just don't have the extra time or availability to sit there and spoon feed it to them one-on-one, I'll chuck it. I find that it's much more easy to find an easy curriculum and beef it up than to take a difficult curriculum and make it more palatable to someone that's just not there in ability. The curriculum is designed almost buffet style, yet I have the kind of personality that likes to check every box, and I feel like the person who wrote the curriculum is looking over my shoulder, wagging their fingers and letting me know that this isn't going to work unless you follow it exactly the way that I wrote it. Your child won't know what they need to know at that grade level. And I've had to learn to make it work for me. Maybe they suggested that we read 10 books, but we really got into a couple of them and took our time. And so instead of reading 10 books, we're reading 7 books, but those 7 books I've really delved into well, and it's enriching. That's preferable than rushing through 10 books and not even remembering what was in any of the stories. So you have to weigh things. Finally, trouble on the day-to-day with curriculum sometimes can be a discipline issue. When you tell your child to do something and they just won't listen to you, maybe you need to work on those things outside of school. Making sure your child understands what's expected of them. Making sure you have consequences in place before you're in the situation if they don't do what they're supposed to do, and they understand what those consequences are. Finally, following through with the consequences every single time. Reinforcing the positive behavior by praising them when they do the things you want them to do. If you can shave things off and tweak things and modify things and make the curriculum work, wonderful. But if not, no matter how much you spent on it, no matter how much you had invested in it, it's just not worth it. Let it go and be blessed.